So, the second thing I'd like to do
Mm-hmm.
is do the same type of reading, but now I want to do it with a book that is more to your taste.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was totally random, and it was completely out of the blue. I didn't explain what it was about. I didn't give you any background. The words were all new to you. So I wanted to compare how you read that with a book that you chose and a book that is more of your style or something that interests you. So can you tell me a little bit about this book, why you chose it, and what you know?
It was actually a recommendation to me, and my friend read it, and she really liked the book, so she wanted me to read it. I haven't really read that much of it. I've only read, not a few chapters, because, there's a lot of chapters, but, I've only read about 40 pages or 50 pages, so...
And how do you feel as you've read it? Do you feel that the words are tripping you up, or it's too difficult, or it's too easy, or it's just perfect? Like, how would you rate this book?
The girl in the book is my age, so it's not going to be something that's going to be out of where I would be learning stuff, because it's in my grade.
Right, but I mean that's what you're reading about.
Yeah.
But I mean, what about the words you're reading? Do you find that this is a difficult book?
No, I understand the words and what she means. Sometimes if she says a metaphor or something like that I don't understand, and that's something else, but the words I understand.
Do you think it's too easy then?
No, I think it's a good book, because I don't want something too hard that I won't understand when I'm done reading it, but I don't want something too easy.
Does Mrs. Jacobs or your other English teachers ever show you like the three-word rule or the three-finger rule about how to test a book? My professor showed me something about if you read the book and you get to the bottom of the page or whatever, and you've got 3 words that you really had trouble with, then the book you're reading is too hard for you, and you should choose a different book. Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever put down a book and go, oh my god, no, I can't do that?
Well, there are some books in class that sometimes it's mostly in French that I'm really hard with, because we do a sorte de lecture where we read a book and we discussed it with the other people that chose that book, because we have different books and people choose them randomly, and then the people who choose the book, you're in a group with them, and then you discuss what was in the book, and then you do a paper after explaining what was in the book, what was the beginning, the moral, the problem, the characters, the setting, stuff like that. And a lot of the time when I read the books, I don't understand. Like, I get to the bottom of the page and I don't know, I have almost the whole page I don't understand.
Exactly. And so are you allowed to change what book you're reading, or you have to push through? But
you have to read the whole book, and at the end, a lot of the time I understand, because at the end, after I see the different things that have gone, and it's just the word that explain what they use, the adjectives, sometimes, again, the metaphors.
Yeah.
And sometimes just words I haven't really learned yet.
And does that happen to you in English?
No.
Okay, so I would like you to read a section of this. So we just start at the beginning, since it's beginning. So I want to do it about as long as what the other ones is. So this book is broken up into different smaller sections. So 1, 2, 3. So how about you get to the end of page 5?
The end of page 5?
So you read it.
From page 1 to page 5?
And
do I read the title here?
Yep.
Okay. How it was supposed to be. I was supposed to play the piano. The piano was a beautiful instrument. Elegant, dignified. People wear ball gowns and tuxedos to hear the piano. With the piano, you could play Carnegie Hall. You could wear a tiara. You could come out on stage wearing gloves up to your elbows. You could pull them off one finger at a time. Everybody is quiet when you're about to play the piano. They don't even breathe. They wait for the first notes. They wait, and then you lift your hands high above your head and slam them down on the keys, and the first notes come crashing out, and your fingers fly up and down, and your foot, and it It's tiny slippers with rubies at the toe. Your foot peeks out from under your gown and pressed lightly on the pedals. A piano is glamorous, sophisticated, worldly. It is a beautiful thing to play the piano. How it is. I play the organ, a wood-grained, vinyl-seated reed-bag organ, the Perfecton V60. Vladimir Horowitz. The best pianist who ever lived was Vladimir Horowitz. Well, maybe Mozart or Beethoven or one of those ancient guys that was really the best, but nobody knows because they didn't have CDs or television or anything back then. But once TV and recordings came around, the best guy for sure was Vladimir Horowitz. I saw a show about Vladimir Horowitz one time. I wanted to watch that old show on TV Land about the twins who are always switching names and clothes and playing tricks on their teachers and boyfriends. But my mom said, Zoe, either you can watch PBS with me or you can go to bed. And she had popcorn. Vladimir Horowitz was born in Russia. His mom played piano. The show didn't say what his dad did. He was a prodigy, which means that even if he was a little kid, he could play like a grown-up. When he was 17, he gave his first professional concert. And when he came to America a few years later, he played Carnegie Hall. I'm 10, almost 11. That means I have 6 years to get good. I told my mom that I wanted to be a prodigy, that I wanted to play Carnegie Hall. I told her I wanted to play the piano. Take it up with domestic affairs, she says. That's my mom's way of saying talk to your dad.
So, give me a rundown on what you just read.
Well, basically, she's saying she wants to play the piano and play Carnegie Hall and be able to wear a tiara and have everyone be so silent and just listen to her. And that the piano's so beautiful and sophisticated, and that's how she wanted it to be. And how it is she's playing the organ, something she doesn't really want. It's not exactly like the piano, so it's got a different sound, and it's not the same. And she's talking about a pianist who plays the piano, and he was a prodigy, so he was really good.
What does a prodigy mean?
Well, I'm not really sure how to explain it, but even if you're just a little kid, you can still play professionally and really good, and you're basically born with a given talent that you can just do.
Yeah.
And she talks to her mom and asks if she can play the piano and do the stuff, and she says to talk to her dad.
What's the feeling you get from this book? Tell me a little bit about her emotions in it.
I don't know. Well, I guess at the beginning she's
Like,
kind of
don't go
happy
too
and-
far, because I know you've read a little bit more, so just try to stick
Well,
with what
yeah,
you
I
know
know.
in these 5 pages.
Well, she's happy because she's excited and she wants to play the piano, but then she gets upset because she's playing the organ.
Mm-hmm.
And when she's talking about Vladimir Horowitz, she's like, I want to be like that. And she's kind of, I don't know. Well, she's happy because she has a feeling like she wants to do that. She's going to be able to do that and everything. And then, I don't know, she gets a little upset when she talks to her mom. She kind of like talk to her dad.
And how do you relate to this book?
Well, I'm her age,
Yeah?
and I love music.
And how old is she?
She is 10 going on 11, and I am 11.
That's okay.
Also, I did used to play the piano, and it is a really pretty instrument. Well,
Yeah, we have
instrument,
that. Do we have a piano?
yeah, we have a keyboard.
Do we have a piano? No,
No,
the
keyboard.
keyboard.
It's not the same
It's
thing,
not the same thing.
but you can make it sound like a piano,
Yeah.
which is still the thing. But when we went to Preville, we had a huge piano, and we had keyboards that we practiced on, and then we got to play on the piano when we were done practicing a song to present it to the class. And I did that for I don't know how many years. I was little, and then I stopped because we didn't go, and then we were back there. So I did the piano again. So I really liked that. I don't really know that many songs because I forgot some when I was used to do it, but I did it a few years ago, and I think I remember like 2 songs. So
How do you relate to her dreams of being a concert pianist or playing the
Well, I don't know. I want to be an artist too, and I like almost all the arts. I like dancing, acting, singing, and art. So I guess I would want to do one of those things when I was older, and I want to be able to do the big leagues, be able to be a professional painter or a professional singer or a dancer or an actress or something.
So it's the kind of thing that you can connect your life to the character that you're reading about. Yeah. So does that play a part in the books that you choose when you choose a book you want to read?
Well, a lot of the time when I choose a book, not all the time I want to relate to the book, but a lot of the time I do want to have something that I can relate to so that I can see the different problems that she has and the actual emotions that she's getting from it so that I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like when it's Harry Potter or there are mystery books that I do read in English class, and things like Silverwing that I wouldn't really think to read, that I am because it's such a good book that I didn't realize it.
Yeah,
And when
yeah.
people tell me that they've read it and they think I should read it, I read the book jacket when I don't think I'm gonna, look at the book.
Yeah, yeah.
I read the book jacket and I think it might be interesting, and I start to read the first chapter, and I see if I like it, and if I don't, I'm not gonna read it. But if I do, then I want to keep going. And
Cool. Is there anything else you want to add to what you think about what you read or what you feel about the book so far?
No, I
Because then
don't
we
think
can
so.
visit back after we finish the book. We can visit back and look at your feelings you have now versus your feelings you have when you finish it.
I don't know. I think that's all.
Yeah. Are you excited to read it? You want to read
Yeah,
more?
I really want to read
Was
it.
it intriguing? All right. The last thing I want to ask about this book is, were there any words in here that you found you had to stumble over, or you were like, maybe I should look that word up? Or even though you could read it, you could sound it out, maybe you didn't understand the meaning of it perfectly?
Well, Carnegie Hall, but I know what that is. It's just the word is
Yeah? Okay.
kind of clear. What's the word? I'm just looking over the words to see if there's anything I didn't understand. No.
No?
Well, domestic affairs, but I'm not really sure what that means.
Yeah, domestic affairs. It's a term that means things to take care of at home. It's a political word. It's like if the government is taking care of things in our country, they're domestic affairs. If we're taking care of things in another country, it's foreign affairs. So if Canada is sending help to Africa, sending food and water to Africa, that's foreign affairs. If we're helping people, the homeless here, that's domestic affairs.
Okay.
All right, let me see if there's a word here that I see.
That you can give to me to see if I understand.
So, while I was interested in the man's name, how did you know how to pronounce Vladimir Horowitz?
Well, I just looked at the letters and the pronunciations and the different, way that you say things that when they're together. So VL Vla with the A, so Vla, and then DIM Dim, and IR ear, so Vladimir.
Okay.
And then Horowitz, which is weird, but HO ha or ho, but you put the R, so it's har, with the O, so haro. And then Witz, TZ, you're not going to say tz, you're going to say ts, like Horowitz.
Horowitz. And this happens instantly.
Yeah,
You didn't even stumble.
I just kind of get.
You just did it quickly. What's the guy's name in Big Bang?
Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, it was like a similar name. Horowitz. The guy who lives with his mother.
Howard Wolowitz.
Wolowitz. Okay, well I hear that when I say it. When I was reading the book, I kept hearing that in my head. Wolowitz. Okay, so maybe what we can do. Okay, pause.